Thank you guys for joining us today, and we are excited to welcome you for today's webinar on ultimate precast workflow with PLANBAR and TIM. So we would like to make use of this chance to thank PUPR and Mr. Chakra Nagara, Head of Department for BTPK, Mr. Reza, and also Mr. Siswanto for organizing this as well. So let me just welcome Mr. Chakra Nagara to give a opening speech. Mr. Chakra, please.
Kan Pak Cakra, sudah bisa share screen? Ya. Audionya belum masuk, Pak.
Suaranya belum. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Thank you very much, Mr. Siswanto, Mr. Max, all friends from German, Thailand, and Singapore. Good afternoon. My name is Chakra Nagara, and head of Balai Penerapan Teknologi Konstruksi of Dirjen Bina Konstruksi in Indonesia. Bapak Ibu sekalian, webinar ini merupakan kerjasama antara Balai Penerapan Teknologi Konstruksi dengan Allplan. Allplan adalah salah satu mitra kerja strategis dari Direktorat Jenderal Bina Konstruksi, khususnya Balai Penerapan Teknologi Konstruksi, yang sudah terkemuka. Allplan ini berasal dari Jerman, sehingga yang menarik adalah seluruh pengetahuan-pengetahuan yang ada terkait dengan konstruksi yang dari Jerman itu diberikan oleh Allplan dan diformulasikan dalam BIM dengan nama Allplan itu tadi. Nah, ini sangat menarik sehingga kita nanti bisa mendengarkan apa-apa yang mungkin sedang ngetren juga di Jerman. Jadi ini webinar yang kelima bersama Allplan. Saya kira itu opening speech-nya. Silahkan nanti Bapak Ibu sekalian untuk menikmati sejauh mana perkembangan teknologi perancangan dari Allplan. Ini adalah hari kelima. Temanya adalah Precast bagian kedua. Demikian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
You can start, Max. Max, you can start. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chakra, for the opening speech. So let me just begin my All right, so a very good afternoon, everyone, and we are excited to welcome you for the second part of the webinar series for today, right? Ultimate precast workflow is PLANBAR. So before we begin, same thing for our newcomers. Things to note is that all audiences will be muted, and you may raise hand or you can use the question box to ask a question related to the webinar, and the webinar will also be recorded. And links will be sent to all participants at the end of the webinar presentation. Right, so allow me to introduce my team for today's presentation. So we have Mr. Jason, our technical support and customer excellence from Philippines. We have Mr. Sirun Hoyot from Thailand. He is our technical manager, and also myself, Max, from Singapore. And below you can see my team supporting us back in Austria, Salzburg, Austria. And if there's any inquiries or questions regarding this webinar or anything else, please contact Mr. Siswanto or myself using the contact details below. All right. So maybe for the newcomers, a brief introduction of Nemetschek Group. So we are headquartered in Munich, Germany, with over 16 strong brands in one umbrella. There are some familiar names that you can see here: Allplan, Graphisoft, Solibri, and Precast Software Engineering. Right? And our solutions spreads across 3 different sectors of the AEC industry, from design, build, all the way to manage. And we are listed in the Munich Stock Exchange market with a very strong market cap and also performance as well. Over 5 million users, over 142 countries. Then a brief introduction of the solutions that we offer. Firstly, we have the PLANBAR, which is a precast specialized software built on Allplan platform. And we have shown extensive capabilities and functionalities yesterday. And today we will also be explaining a little bit more on that. And our focus today will also be on our technical information integration manager, which is a platform for a common platform for planning of precast workflow. And this diagram actually showed, it was shown yesterday, but I want to explain it again to our newcomers today, right? So for BIM, a lot of people understand it as a model, but we understand it as a process, right? So from BIM, you have the information required to create these 3D BIM models, but ultimately what it is being used for is actually to be used on construction sites, right? To put it into action, to collaborate between multiple stakeholders to ensure that the project is being proceeded smoothly, right? So, and ultimately what we want to achieve is the transformation stage, whereby you make use of other platforms to manage your BIM data, to make use of the BIM data to transform into a smart city using other technologies such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and also IoT as well. Right. So for this to be achieved, data is actually very important. And what has to be achieved is data quality. You have to obtain good data as the base stone for this BIM transformation. And you also have to make sure that the data is compatible with other vendors or other platforms as well, so that it can be used for multiple purposes, from designing to construction to managing to facilities management, and also to control your sorry, what all right, so apologies for the technical glitch, right? So for data integrity, it is to ensure that the information is passed on securely, because all our information will be online, right? And for workflow, this is actually a very painful point for a lot of people when they do the BIM transformation, because all the workflow that we are used to has to change. You have to collaborate with different stakeholders. You have to collaborate with your consultants, your structural engineers, your developers, your customers, etc. And all these communications, if not done properly, it could be a headache for a lot of people. right? So BIM is not just about a single software, but it's about a workflow to ensure that efficiency can be achieved. And ultimately, you can have the transformation that we all want, desires for. So it is a ecosystem built on the data and workflow foundation, right? So you create all the, you want to transform into a smart cities, you need to embed all this information onto your building structures. You need to have all this information readily available when you want them. And we can expand it to Internet of Things, whereby you can control everything from your air condition to your light bulbs, etc., in your homes. And this can be extended to the whole cities as well, including lightings, sewage system, etc. Right. So let me just pass the presentation to Mr. Chakra, whereby he will probably explain more on the BIM, the whole BIM initiative that Indonesia is actually embarking on.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Max. Show my screen. Oke, ya. Bapak Ibu sekalian, ini ada hal yang menarik dari merupakan BIM dari Jerman. Jadi sesuai dengan karakternya orang-orang Jerman, mereka ini sangat royal sekali terhadap ilmu pengetahuan. Semuanya dia kasih gitu. Jadi semua teknologi yang ada di Jerman apapun juga dia kasih. Saya pernah diskusi dengan Pak Siswanto ini, apa pembeda antara BIM untuk student dengan BIM untuk industri? Nggak ada. Bedanya hanya di print out-nya, kira-kira seperti itu. Jadi Bapak Ibu sekalian, ini sangat-sangat menarik sehingga ke depan saya merekomendasikan salah satu produk offline ini, kira-kira gitu. Oke, masuk ke dalam teorinya. Bapak Ibu sekalian, kami adalah Balai Penerapan Teknologi Konstruksi, merupakan di bawah dari Direktorat Jenderal Bina Konstruksi. Direktorat Jenderal Bina Konstruksi ini secara undang-undang berdasarkan Undang-Undang Nomor 2 Tahun 2017 itu memiliki diamanatkan sebagai pembina jasa konstruksi nasional. Jadi undang-undang itu kita itu sebagai nasional. Salah satu yang kita bina adalah masalah teknologi dan capacity building SDM konstruksi. Nah, disesuaikan dengan industri konstruksi 4.0, maka kita sangat yang namanya masyarakat jasa konstruksi secara nasional untuk paham tentang teknologi. Salah satunya adalah BIM. Lanjut. Nah, Bapak Ibu sekalian, ini adalah kondisi daya saing nasional kita. Jadi kita itu sekarang sedang menurun daya saingnya dari 36 ke 45 dan untuk infrastrukturnya dari 52 ke 71. Itu disebabkan karena salah satunya adalah masalah adaptasi teknologi. Adaptasi teknologi ini, ya ini, seperti yang kita pakai hari ini, yang kita gunakan hari ini, yang kita rancang hari ini, pemanfaatan teknologi hari ini, itulah masalah adaptasi teknologi. Adaptasi teknologi ini, biasanya kita mengenal teknologi itu untuk having fun. Ternyata untuk belajar juga bisa, gitu ya. Jadi, ya sambil belajar, sambil having fun, sambil cari uang, dan kita gunakan teknologi, supaya untungnya banyak. Nah, Bapak sekalian, dari gambar peta dunia di atas, di situ bisa kita lihat bahwa Indonesia masih disukai orang Bali, disukai orang industri luar. Kita pasar nomor 1 di ASEAN dan pasar nomor 4 di Asia, gitu ya. Sehingga kita berharap bahwa pasar-pasar ini tidak dikuasai asing lah, kira-kira gitu. Lanjut. Nah, ini data lain adalah terkait dengan komposisi badan usaha. Kita punya 140.000 badan usaha. Yang besarnya 1,4%, menengah 15%, kecil 83%. Besar di bawah, ya. Prinsipnya sederhana. Kalau mau untung banyak, pakailah teknologi. Karena teknologi ini semuanya aliran logistik kita bisa pantau semuanya. Sehingga itulah keuntungan-keuntungan besar biasanya kita kalau mau dapat untung besar itu harus bisa menguasai dari hulu sampai hilir terkait dengan logistiknya. Kira-kira seperti itu. Lanjut. Ini ada yang menarik. Data kita 8,3 juta tenaga kerja, yang terampilnya 2 jutaan, yang ahlinya 270.000. Tapi dalam kondisi realnya yang tersertifikasi, ahli itu sekitar 180.000. Sedikit lagi memang. Yang terampilnya 420-an ribu. Masih jauh. Terampilnya banyak yang belum bersertifikat ya Bapak Ibu ya. Sehingga ini perlu kita dorong. Namun Bapak Ibu sekalian, ada suatu tren yang unik di tengah. Ternyata tenaga ahli itu untuk ahli muda menurun 3% per tahun. Jadi ini ternyata ini tidak di Indonesia saja, tapi di seluruh dunia demikian. Orang lebih senang berbisnis dan cepat dapat hasil daripada masuk dunia jasa konstruksi. Ini fenomena nyata. Tapi kalau ini bisnis kita tinggalkan, sayang juga Bapak Ibu sekalian. Jadi kita harus adaptif dengan teknologi-teknologi yang ada. BIM ini yang kita coba dorong. Kenapa? Ini relatif murah lah, kira-kira gitu. Murah pada posisi sesuai dengan kelasnya. Lanjut, kita saat ini adalah lingkungan strategis pembinaan jasa konstruksi. Kita saat ini masuk kepada revolusi industri 4.0, ada cerita big data, ada cerita artificial intelligence, dan lain-lain. Tapi BIM adalah menjadi trendsetter hari ini di bidang perancangan jasa konstruksi. Lanjut. Nah, yang kami lakukan, yang dilakukan oleh Direktorat Jenderal Bina Konstruksi ada 3 strategi. Pertama, dengan distance learning SIBIMA. Apa sih itu? Kenapa Direktorat Jenderal Bina Konstruksi itu mendorong distance learning SIBIMA? Jadi begini ceritanya. Direktorat Jenderal Bina Konstruksi itu satu-satunya direktorat jenderal yang meregisterkan SKKNI-nya ke Kementrian. Jadi semua aliran-aliran informasinya harus diregister harus disubmit kira-kira gitu oleh Direktorat Bina Konstruksi ke Kemenaker, kira-kira gitu. Karena di Bina Konstruksi diperiksa dulu. Nah, SKKNI ini kemudian diturunkan menjadi modul-modul. Modul latih, soal-soal, dan lain-lain. Nah, yang SIBIMA itu isinya modul-modul itu. Modul-modul, soal-soal. Jadi kalau orang yang sudah masuk ke dalam atau lulus distance learning SIBIMA konstruksi, knowledge-nya itu sudah memenuhi knowledge dari kompetensi sesuai dengan SKKNI. Karena indikator kompetensi kan ada 3, skill, knowledge, attitude. Yang kita bisa dorong adalah knowledge. Skill and attitude itu dari pengalaman kerja dan lain-lain. Nah, jadi itu. Strategi yang kedua, upper. Tadi lower, sekarang upper. Dengan BIM. BIM ini memang kalau teknologi itu sangat mahal. BIM ini menurut saya relatif lebih murah. Saya sebut relatif ya. Makanya ini perlu kita kuasai. Ini BIM ini masuk dalam sisi perancangan. Teknologi perancangan. Kemudian yang strategi ketiga adalah magang konstruksi. Jadi pada bulan Desember, Menteri PU mengeluarkan SE nomor 23 tahun 2019 tentang magang di PUPR. Namun karena COVID, terus terang ini karena COVID saja, ini belum bergerak. Harusnya sudah bergerak di tahun ini, karena tahun ini Bapak Ibu sekalian, seperti yang terjadi, seperti yang Bapak Ibu dengarkan di media-media, bahwa anggaran infrastruktur semuanya direlaksasi. Direlaksasi itu artinya misalnya begini, harusnya proyeknya 1 tahun, kemudian direlaksasi mungkin bisa menjadi 2 tahun, kira-kira seperti itu. Harusnya proyek-proyek itu single years menjadi multi years, gitu, seperti itu. Namun pada prinsipnya, prinsip itu kita tidak boleh merugikan para kontraktor dan konsultan. Jadi ini kalimat penting. Walaupun proyek-proyek direlaksasi, kita tidak boleh merugikan kontraktor dan konsultan. Nah, makanya sekarang dalam suasana COVID ini selama 3 bulan kemarin, seluruh BUMN, staf-stafnya belajar BIM. Nah, sekarang kita masuk ke dalam strategi kedua. Oke, lanjut. Apa itu BIM? Jadi pertanyaannya kenapa BIM diperlukan? Jadi begini Bapak Ibu sekalian, di masa lalu kita harus mengakui bahwa di masa lalu itu database kita kurang baik. Di masa lalu database kita tidak terintegrasi. Di masa lalu banyak dispute antar tenaga ahli. Akhirnya di masa lalu terjadi inefektivitas dan inefisiensi. Tuntutan pekerjaan ke depan adalah kompleks. Tuntutannya kalau kita merancang harus bisa dilihat kira-kira jadinya seperti apa. Seperti contohnya yang IKN ya, IKN yang sudah ada sering di Bapak Ibu lihat di internet, di YouTube, seperti itulah. Kita ingin tahu seberapa besar jadinya nanti misalnya, seperti itu. Nah, kemudian karena uang juga terbatas, kita tentunya ada tuntutan low cost dan tepat sasaran. BIM inilah jawabannya. Lanjut. Nah, apa itu BIM? Sudah beberapa waktu kita sampaikan adalah BIM itu bukan software. BIM itu workflow atau metode. Software itu kebetulan ya dipakai softwarenya. Gitu. Kebetulan harus pakai software. Tapi sebenarnya bukan software. Sehingga software manapun juga bisa dipakai. Gitu. Kenapa banyak provider? Provider itu tidak saling memakan. Setelah saya pelajari tidak saling memakan. Mereka saling melengkapi. Jadi ada yang BUMN tertentu mereka menggunakan banyak provider, ya nggak apa-apa karena mereka saling melengkapi. Kira-kira seperti itu. Nah, dalam BIM itu database terintegrasi. Pasti dong datanya itu aja. Gitu kan? Jadi ada database terintegrasi, sehingga database ini hal-hal yang kompleks kita kalau terintegrasi semuanya bisa selesai gitu ya. Kira-kira seperti itu dari sisi perancangan. Dari pelaksanaan bisa terkontrol, dari pengawasan kita bisa kontrol juga. Kemudian akhirnya harapannya ada efisiensi dan efektivitas. Lanjut. Visualisasi ini menjadi penting. Kalau SD, ketika saya SD, saya belajar tentang 3 dimensi. Apa sih 3 dimensi? Itu 3 dimensi itu panjang kali lebar kali tinggi, kira-kira begitu. Kalau 4 dimensi apa di BIM? Nah, 3 dimensi ditambahkan tentang scheduling. 5 dimensi ditambahkan tentang perhitungan volume dan biaya. Jadi BIM yang lain, Bapak Ibu sekalian, fokus di 5D. Banyak yang fokus di 5D. Ya iya, kenapa? Ya orang ingin untung ya mainnya di 5D, kira-kira gitu ya. Di 6D itu energi. Nah, ini sudah mulai ke dalam ramah lingkungan. 7 ini sangat penting. Sebenarnya 7 ini penting sekali buat pemerintah. Jadi saya berharap di sini kalau yang ada dari pemerintah tolong belajar BIM 7 dimensi. Yaitu apa? Operation and maintenance. Kira-kira. Lanjut. Bapak Ibu sekalian, ini pimpinan kami mengamanatkan bahwa kita harus melakukan terobosan supaya infrastruktur ini jadi dan bermanfaat. 5 hal yang mempercepat pembangunan infrastruktur. Pertama, 2 di antara yang terpenting adalah sumber daya manusia dan penerapan hasil riset dan teknologi. BIM salah satunya. Lanjut. Ini adalah roadmap implementasi BIM. Kita mencoba membuat roadmap ini, namun sekarang sudah 2020, kita masih melakukan sosialisasi. Tidak apa-apa, better late than never ya. Lanjut. Bapak Ibu sekalian, Kementerian PU komit terhadap penggunaan BIM. Kenapa? karena kami ingin efisien. Pajak-pajak dibayarkan oleh masyarakat itu kita gunakan seefisien mungkin dengan cara kita menggunakan BIM. Jadi kita tetapkan, Pak Menteri menetapkan Permen PU nomor 22 tahun 2018 tentang bangunan gedung negara, bahwa bangunan gedung negara yang tidak sederhana, jadi kalimat tidak sederhana itu maksudnya kompleks. Kompleks itu dibahasakan dengan tidak sederhana, dengan luas di atas 2000 meter persegi dan di atas 2 lantai, ini kalimat kuantitatif ya Bapak Ibu sekalian, maka wajib menggunakan BIM. Nah, ada pertanyaan dari masyarakat. Kalau bangunan komersil gimana? Sebenarnya bangunan komersil harus pakai BIM. Bangunan gedung mall, bangunan gedung sekolahan, bangunan apapun. Itu yang spesifikasinya tadi di atas 2000 meter persegi dan di atas 2 lantai. Ini sedang dikaji oleh Kementrian PUPR. Jadi moga-moga ke depan ada tindak lanjutnya. Bagaimana, pertanyaan selanjutnya, bagaimana dengan jalan, jembatan, dan bendungan? Apalagi itu. Kita tidak tahu perancangannya seperti apa gitu ya. Ya, kita sebenarnya tahu perancangannya seperti apa. Tapi datanya itu kan jangan sampai data mati. Data itu harus hidup. Ya pakailah BIM, kira-kira seperti itu. Nah, kemudian bagaimana dengan bangunan provinsi dan kabupaten kota? Apalagi provinsi dan kabupaten kota, bangunan gedung negara. Karena bangunan negara kan bangunan yang dipakai dengan uang rakyat, APBN maupun APBD. Jadi yang provinsi pun kalau masuk kriteria ini ya harus pakai BIM. Yang kabupaten kota pun kalau mau masuk kriteria ini ya harus pakai BIM. Tujuannya tadi selain efisiensi, juga keselamatan, juga database yang kontinu, sustainabilitas data. Banyak Bapak Ibu sekalian, kami temukan bangunan-bangunan besar dibangun, setelah kita cek datanya mana, kalau orang Jawa bilang, emboh. Nah, harusnya kan nggak begitu ya. Datanya mana, siap, ada. Nah, harusnya seperti itu. Kenapa? Kalau ada apa-apa, krek, gempa sedikit, gubrak, ya kita harus bisa cepat respon. Gitu, seperti itu. Oke, lanjut. Nah, BIM ini kita perlu melakukan kerjasama quad helix tadi yang disampaikan. Apa sih BIM buat pemerintah? Buat pemerintah itu sustainabilitas data. Data yang berlanjut. Kalau pemerintah datanya tidak bagus, pembangunan tidak akan tepat sasaran. Pemerintah, baik pusat maupun daerah, wajib memiliki data yang update. Bapak Ibu saksi terkait dengan yang tidak update di YouTube banyak, maka ribut, masyarakat pasti ribut. Apa gunanya BIM dari? Oh, jelas dong. Kontrak konsultan, kalau yang proyek-proyek besar BIM, pertama nggak update, kemudian untungnya sedikit kira-kira. Kalau masyarakat gimana? Kontrak konsultannya, tenaga ahlinya. Ya, tenaga ahli penting. Ngomong BIM ini penting. Ini kekinian. Tapi sih gimana? Dulu akademisi memang peneliti itu dulu biasanya sendiri-sendiri ya membuat risetnya. Tapi diharapkan ke depan kita dapat membangun kolaboratif riset yang benar-benar bisa berlangsung buat masyarakat. Karena kita ini negara Indonesia, jadi Indonesia ini perlu penting pada riset-riset yang aplikatif, kira-kira gitu. Dan kolaboratif, kita risetnya bersama. Nah, kita harapkan BIM ini bisa dilakukan riset kolaboratif di situ. Banyak sekali perguruan tinggi yang sudah attach kepada kami, ya kami sanggupi untuk bantu, kira-kira gitu. Lanjut. Nah, ini Bapak Ibu sekalian, kami sangat komit mendorong BIM ini untuk menjadi diperkenalkan di perguruan tinggi. Kenapa? Jadi ternyata di perguruan tinggi ini menjadi tempat yang sangat-sangat penting untuk membawa tren Indonesia, anak-anak mudanya mau seperti apa. Ini penting sekali. Nah, kemudian saat itu tanggal 23 Oktober 2019 kita menyampaikan ke Dirjen Belmawa Kemenristeknik di saat itu pakai surat mohon. Jadi kenapa? Karena kita adalah pembina konstruksi, kita bersurat kepada Dirjen Belmawa saat itu. Tolong dong, kira-kira bahasanya sederhananya gitu. Tolong dong, kita ini perlu orang-orang Indonesia yang tidak gaptek lah terhadap teknologi. Tolong masukkan BIM 2 SKS minimal di perguruan tinggi. Kira-kira pesan dari surat ini adalah seperti itu, gitu ya. Lanjut, ini success story-nya banyak. Lanjut, ini TOT dan BIMTEK-nya. Kita kembali, TOT dan BIMTEK-nya kita merasa sudah banyak yang kita didik. Ternyata pas dicek ke masyarakat itu kurang. Akhirnya kita buat strategi di 2020. Lanjut. Ini strategi capacity building kita di 2020. Kami membangun laboratorium BIM PUPR di Jalan Suratmo. Kita sudah punya komputer, 52 komputer, dan sangat-sangat high spec gitu ya. High spec, tinggal moga-moga nanti di bulan Juli lah bisa running, karena kemarin harusnya bulan Mei bisa running karena COVID dan lain-lain. Moga-moga ke depan bisa running gitu ya. Nah, permulaan pelatihan ini akhirnya kemarin kita menggunakan pelatihan online. Jadi ada yang dari beberapa provider melakukan pelatihan online. Nah, kami berharap offline juga kita berharap offline juga bisa mendukung pelatihan online untuk masyarakat desa, kira-kira gitu. Kemudian kita membangun mitra satelit kita sangat banyak dengan 7 vendor, perguruan tinggi, kontraktor, konsultan, supplier, dan lain-lain. Perguruan tinggi yang paling banyak Bapak Ibu sekalian. Jadi webinar kami ini sangat-sangat banyak dan sangat-sangat diminati. Nanti lihat di YouTube channel kita. Rating yang paling banyak itu adalah webinar tentang BIM yang dilaksanakan oleh BUMN. Karena apa? Itu benar-benar aplikatif. Yang kedua, BIM dari provider. Nah, kalau yang seperti ini kan spesifik gitu kan. Kalau yang ini ya sangat spesifik gitu. Jadi kalau para pengambil kebijakan akan sering banyak menonton BIM yang dari provider, BIM yang dari BUMN. Nah, kemudian ada juga pelatihan-pelatihan BIM online. Nanti kita juga akan melaksanakan pelatihan gratisan juga untuk BIM yang offline-nya. Moga-moga COVID tidak dan kita bisa melaksanakannya. Kita juga sedang merancang bagaimana mendukung BIM ini untuk SMK. Nah, juga nanti saya sampaikan di sini Pak Siswanto bagaimana offline bisa mendukung BIM untuk SMK gitu ya. Seperti SMK itu levelnya drafter. Kalau S1 itu perancang gitu ya levelnya itu. Jadi KKNI-nya bunyinya seperti itu. Lanjut. Nah, ini pelatihan-pelatihan yang sudah kita lakukan. Jadi ini bahan yang sebelum bulan puasa. Memang mohon maaf belum kita update, tapi sampai hari ini sudah cukup banyak ya webinarnya. Mohon maaf ini Pak Siswanto belum kami update karena kami sangat-sangat pekerjaannya luar biasa juga dari Balai Penerapan Teknologi ini. Jadi semua ini bisa pengumuman-pengumumannya bisa dilihat di YouTube channel, di Facebook dan Instagram. Kami sangat kekinian. Jadi makanya 3 itu, Instagram, YouTube channel sama Facebook kira-kira gitu. Semua pengumuman ada di situ. Jadi sering-sering saja lihat di situ. Setiap webinar itu dapat pelatihan. Setiap webinar dapat sertifikat. Pelatihan online juga sama, itu gratis semuanya. Cuma karena yang ikut ribuan sampai saat ini sudah tak terhitung lah 8.000 kalau tidak salah ya. 8.000 lebih ya, 8.000 lebih, sehingga itu ada tim khusus yang membuat sertifikat ini itu diperiksa satu-satu. Seperti itu ya. Jadi kalau yang belum dapat sertifikat sabar-sabar sedikit lah, kan gratis, kecuali bayar ya, itu lain. Ini memang pemerintah memberikan knowledge gratis buat masyarakat. Lanjut. Saya kira itu yang bisa kami sampaikan. Saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada Bapak Ibu yang sudah hadir dalam webinar ini. Demikian kami kembalikan ke tim offline. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Pak Cakra. I think now you can start your presentation. Is it Max or Siren? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chakra, for your wonderful presentation and very insightful insights on BIM. And we are also very excited to see the good works that PUPR and BTP has done. And it's very exciting that so much has been achieved since 2019 for the implementation of BIM in the Indonesian market. And we think that with all these efforts put in by the government and also Mr. Chakra and his team, we can actually achieve more. And we can also see the results from the collaboration between the government agencies and also the private sectors on what can be done to improve the efficiency and also reduce costs, improve the effectiveness of implementation of BIM in actual projects. Right, so like what I have mentioned just now, BIM is not just a software, but it's a process, and it is also a workflow for all the stakeholders to participate and achieve the outcome that we want. Right, so for PLANBAR or for precast software engineering, we encompasses a large portion of the project flow, from calculation, cost calculation, to precast design, to production, and all the way to data and reports, and also information management. So integrated planning is actually one of the key to success that we have always envisioned right from the start, to ensure consistency of data and information along the whole process. Right, so today we will be focusing on the production, data, reports, and also the information management, including mobile management as well. And we also provide consulting services to our customers who requires very customized or bespoke solutions for their individual operations. Right, so my colleague will be sharing today how we can generate reports from precast models. And this report can be used for invoicing, for accounting purposes, and also to track your materials, etc. And we will also be talking about the BIM booster. Right, so managing data is very important when you are using a BIM solution, because with such huge amount of data, it can be very draining on the computing power, and it can also cause frustrations when you manage such a big pool of data and you're not sure, which one is the latest model, for example. And with BIM Booster, you can actually manage all these precast elements in a more effective and efficient way, whereby the system will group all these similar precast elements together, and you can reference all the details, including the reinforcement, the fixtures, lifting hooks, etc., to all these precast elements, and all the changes can be synchronized and updated accordingly. Right, and my colleague will also be showing you how we approach the open BIM method to include the architecture model and also the MEP models to our precast PLANBAR model. right? So the information can come from RFC export or native data format. And all this information will be embedded into our precast model to create openings, reinforcements, fixtures, etc. And all this information can be used for machinery production as well. So now let me maybe just pass the presentation to my colleague, Jason, who will explain to you on, to continue from our yesterday's webinar on shop drawing creation, and also how we can actually accommodate for easier alteration of shop drawing in a much faster way compared to our competitor. Jason, please.
Okay, thank you, Max. So I'll show my screen. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. So again, my name is Jason, and I am part of the Precast Software Engineering as a Customer Excellence Technical Support. So just to continue what we have touched yesterday is regarding the element plan. So I'm going to focus on element plan with iTrigger. So iTrigger is really used, or this functionality is used similar to a filter, because it helps to choose what element plan or your shop drawing will be used for specific PC elements. If you have different types of PC elements, you can use this iTrigger. And since it is similar to a filter, it means that the rules and conditions has to be defined before it will be applied to the created element plans. So all those filters is technically you need to put some conditions in order for this functionality to be applicable for that element. So what are the benefits for this iTrigger? Because rules conditions were defined, the creation of a different element plan will be lesser. Unlike in other cases that each element has its own element plan or a shop drawing, and then depending on the scale. So if that's the case, then you have to change most of the time the scale just to fit into your created element plan. Where in this, using iTrigger, you don't have to change any of those scaling. And I will show you later how it is easy to use iTrigger using the scale. And also, it saves time on creating new element plan layout or even modifying it. And then it will also benefit the production department definitely, because for their preparation of the mold. So normally in the precast practice, production side will ask at least the shape of each elements in order for them to group their precast panels. So if you can give them in a faster way all the information, even the major shapes, then it will be easier for them to collect and order the correct mold for these elements. So where to create iTrigger rules and conditions. So in the layout catalog, later on when we do a demo, I will show it to you. The layout catalog has this iTrigger inside. And from this iTrigger, you need to define the conditions and formula. So you have these 3 buttons wherein you can specify in what area and what attribute are going to use for the specific iTrigger condition. Where will iTrigger be used? So normally iTrigger can be used all in sheets, and all the sheet, I mean the paper, even views and section. Also, it is can be seen in legend, table, and label style. So all this information you'll have the eye trigger, so you can define each conditions for each type. So to begin with my live demo, I hope this familiar from yesterday. So I will just go to my plan bar. And that's what I have mentioned. These are different elements. Yes, there are some reinforcements. There are none. There are also different sizes. So in this sample, we can see that using iTrigger is easy to give information, especially if the production really needs these types, or they need the sizes of each element. So to show you more deeper, so we have to go into the layout catalog. Then, so as what I shown you in the image, this is the eye trigger. And when I click that, I will have to define these conditions. So I have this condition wherein greater than 3 but less than 5. I have less than or equal to 3. So I have to specify all these conditions in order for me to incorporate on the layouts that I have created. Again, this has to be defined uh, at first or before creating or starting your project, wherein because this is a one-time setting, so once you have set this and it is applicable to all your projects, then definitely you don't have to do anything about it. So just to give a background of how to create a layout, so you just have to need the element plan, and this element plan has its different type. So if I'm going to check a few types, and you can see that the icon becomes something like this. Well, there is X because there's not much information yet. Later on, it will be removed. The next, if I change the types, so I need to select a different one. So if I select this one, and you can see that the icon here change also. So each type you need to define and which module you're going to use. So for this case, let me try to use just this structural precast elements. Okay, so the next thing is we can just, after creating this, then we have to put the sheet. Okay, so this is the paper wherein you have the eye trigger also here. So you can specify your conditions here. Again, if I show you back, these are your conditions. And if I go to my sheet, then the eye trigger will be there and your options are here. So you just have to tick in what condition you're going to incorporate along this sheet. Okay. So the next thing is you need to, of course, border size. We can change to auto select, and then maybe you can have the selection of, I don't know, maybe you can use A3, then make it be a landscape. If you have border type, you can use also. Okay, so that's how you're going to set. After setting everything, then you can have your view. So your view will be either your plan view, your side view, top view, front view, rear view, or even isometric view. So these are the um, settings that you need to fill in according to your standards or your requirements. So again, in this view, you will have the eye trigger, and there is some options also as what you have defined. So for this case, I will not define anything because I have defined it on the sheet. So it will incorporate already the conditions within the sheet. You can put multiple, excuse me, multiple views in order for you to generate. So let's pretend that this will be your front view, this will be your left side view, this will be your right side view. So it will depend, it will change only according to this setting. So the next thing is the isometric view, as what I mentioned. You can use also to have a 3D view of your element. You can also have the section. So section also have the iTrigger, as what I mentioned. You can fill in also the options there. You can have also the legend. So I'll just put somewhere here together with all the settings that you need to. And then you have the table. And this one will be the label style. Okay. And then again, for the label style, you also have the iTrigger. So if this, in this case, once you have placed most of these items, you can use the anchor. Okay. Anchor means I have to attach all of this information into one sheet. So if I attach it, I have to put some anchorage from that side, and maybe this one will just be 0 and 0. So as you can see, when I attach this label style, the icon here already remove the X. So it means I have to really attach all of this in the element plan in order for this X to be removed. Okay, so that will be the basic information on creating the element plan. So let's say you have finished this element plan and you have created different views, different information. So you can put it in one main file, wherein like this one, because you have different sheets. Okay. So later on, you'll see what is the benefit of this. So here I have a condition of a slab length. So it means H is for horizontal, V is for vertical. I also have a beam. Vertical, you have L-shaped facade. Okay. So incorporating all the eye triggers here, I have put them each this functions or options or conditions, and I specify individually their scale. So this one is for 40 scale, the other one is 30, maybe 25 also have, 50 I have, and 30 I have. So it means in these different elements or element plan layout, you can define different scale. Okay. So now we can go to the model. So aside from this one, maybe I just give to some information. So normally the label style will consist of shop drawing title block, or maybe you can also have the detail. So a blow up details. You can have some maybe just bubble. So you can define it also here. Okay, so we go now to the live demo for this. So again, as I mentioned earlier, production normally ask for the sizes. So in this case, you haven't finished anything. So just to give the production the information, so I need to export the profiles or the sizes of this. And because if I create a shop drawing one by one, then I have to do click click one, and then we will produce element plan. Click another one, will produce another one. So it will take time. So for your production, I can just remove everything. So it means I have no element plans at the moment. So what I can do is I just go to my precast elements, and then I use my batch run. And then from the batch run, as what you remembered, I have filled in this, wherein the layout that I have created has to be inside to these different types. Okay, it means if you have something like this one, it means it will look for the element plan that will be suitable for your elements. And the next one is the layout output, wherein you can define what will be the output that you wanted to have. You might want to direct to printer, TXF, DWG, PDF. And then for this sample, I will just export to PDF, and it will be exported at this path. So this path, I'm just going to show you. So just say this function, and then this, just make it more clearer. Select. Okay. So if I run the whole thing and start exporting, so you can see from this folder, it automatically exports all the element plans. Okay. So as you can see, you don't have to create it one by one, but you can export it everything. So now it takes about less than maybe 20 seconds. And if I can show you the scale or one element plan, so I have the information here with reinforcement and also the scale as what I showed you. The scale is 50. So without changing any scale, I can open another one, maybe the slab, and this one has a scale of 30. And since there are no information yet with even the reinforcement, fixtures, or details, it will just give you the shape and the dimension of the element. In this case, I think your production will be glad to have this information. Okay. So to continue, to show you the benefit of this eye trigger, so I will just have to go to my other file. So this is a sample of a shape wherein I have shown you yesterday how to create this kind of shape using the structural precast elements. So for this case, let's say I need to have an element plan of this, but because I don't have anything here and I need to select what will be the layout I'm going to use. So I will use this multiple element plan. In this case, I have these different elements with different scales or different layout elements. I just have to select this and it will automatically generate your shop drawing depending on the scale. So if I look onto this, and it will automatically select the L shape because it detects that this PWL is part of your condition in your layout catalog. So I just want to go back, and if you see my L shape here, okay, and this is part of the condition, okay, that's why it takes this element plan for this certain element. So in this case, let's say I need to put some information. So if I'm going to place, I can even create views. Let's create view. I will just have to, just to show you that either I put here or I put here, it automatically change everything. So you don't have to worry. Okay, so let's say for example, I'm going to put a splice sleeve. So for the fixture, let me try to put something like this fixture. Let's say I put it somewhere here. As what you can see on the shop drawing, it automatically detected it. So maybe just say okay. And your dimension also reflects on your fixtures. And it will give you also the automatic naming of your fixture. And even if you have added more, so it will give you the dimension of each based on the center and also the quantity updates. So since you have this information, then you need to have a detail of it. Okay. So by doing anything, just to have to refresh, then your detail will appear because you have this information. Again, this is based on the condition that you have created in the layout catalog. Okay, that's why you have this information. So again, let's say I put another detail of maybe something like a grout tube, and I'll just place it here in the shop drawing or its element. So I have a grout tube there, and I say okay. So it means I have this information. The dimension is there, an additional name for the fixture, and of course I need to have another detail of that. I just need to refresh, and it will automatically be there. Okay, another, it is also possible for your detail using the cutouts. So based on this one, it's really flat, so we can put some recess here. I can put it here again. So I'll just place this one, and let's say fixture bottom recess. So has to be here, and maybe let's try to put somewhere here. Okay, so let's say until here, and escape again. Parameters, and then maybe let me see how this thing will be placed. So, or maybe just use this one, and then parameters, and then say for example I put something here, and as you can see I have a cutout. Okay, I have this cutout, and it is shown here. So you need to identify this detail. So how can you identify this detail? So you need to put something like a blow up. So in this case, because we have the eye trigger, if I refresh my element plan, then I should have the detail of it together with the symbol. Okay. So again, this is based on the setting that or condition that you have. Also, even if you have a reinforcement, so I will just put just some reinforcements here, and I will just use this default and just place here, place my bar. Okay, again, place my bar here, and then just place bar shape. I will just put it automatically. So I have the reinforcements here, and it automatically reflects on your element. Okay, and if I refresh my element plan again, then I should have my reinforcement information here. So this is based on the eye trigger or the conditions that you have set in the eye trigger. And I can say this is a big help, especially if you are doing a big project and you need to produce the drawings immediately, then you can use this eye trigger, incorporating the labels or the conditions that you need to satisfy for your elements. Okay, so basically this is the end of my presentation regarding eye trigger. So maybe I can return back to Max.
Thank you, Jason, for the demonstration. So just to summarize it, with eye trigger, you can create shop drawings easily. You can set the rules and conditions so that the shop drawings can be automatically updated. And it will also include the details of the fixtures or additional rebars automatically onto your new shop drawings, right? So I will pass the presentation to Mo, who will show us how we approach the open BIM using the IFC and also the MEP assistant, right? Siren, please. Remember to unmute yourself and switch on the mic.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today webinar. Okay, my name is Silan Hongyot from Thailand. I'm works as a PLANBAR solution manager. I'm concentrating on the Precast BIM workflow with 8 years experience in Precast industry. Today we want to talk with the topics about ultimate Precast workflow with PLANBAR and TIM part 2. My topic is MEP assistant. So first we should talk about IFC data. As you know, we heard about Open BIM since many years, and because of Open BIM is a format that allows others BIM platform or BIM software to access the information from the 3D model, and it's a universal approach for correlate with design, realize, and operate buildings based on the Open BIM standard. So MEP Assistant has developed it based on Open BIM standard. We use information from IFC format for develop nice feature to help PLANBAR user to speed up your productivity. This will assist you to map all the data from different software and convert to the native catalog such as DDS-CAD, Revit, SketchUp, and the others MEP software. So what MEP Assistant can do now? We have two possibilities. The one is we can convert IFC data to the fixtures, and the other one is we can use IFC data to create opening area. For all those two possibilities, MEP Assistant requires IFC data which came from MEP Designer. I will show you again in the demo. But before we go to demo, I have to explain you about benefit from MEP Assistant. First, easy to collaborate with other MEP designer. Because of MEP data that you get and import can be used directly in PLANBAR. And the second is highly performant to speed up your work to complete in timeline. If you work without MEP Assistant, it might be complicated. And the last is automated function that will make your project accurate than before. Okay, so here is a live demo to show you how MEP Assistant can work. Before we go to PLANBAR, I would like to show you about IFC data which came from MEP Designer. On my screen, show you now I've the plumbing system, electrical system, and the air conditioning system, or even the lighting as well. We just import this IFC data to PLANBAR. To import the data, you just drag and drop IFC file to one of the drawing in PLANBAR. And this is a 3D modeling came from IFC file. With this, you just open your Precast wall. Okay. From this, we are ready to start to make to convert IFC data into the native catalog of PLANBAR. But let me open shop drawing, because I would like to show you what happened after we convert IFC data to the catalog of PLANBAR. Okay. I click on the command on the on the MEP wizard, select word, and MEP assistant know exactly which data coming from IFC data. On my screen, IFC data collected from MEP system, from IFC assistant, show in red color. With this, IFC assistant come up with the list of fixture, with list of MEP system. First, you have to select catalog that you want to map to native catalogs of PLANBAR. And then you just select on the list and load fabric. And MEP assistant will apply or will assign catalogs according to information of IFC data. After you place run, you can see what happened after that. You will get all the fixture coming from IFC data in your shop drawing, or even it's saved already in the catalog of PLANBAR. And you can see all the information will show in the list or in the table of the shop drawing. I will undo one time to show you this is before and this is after when you're using MEP assistant. So imagine if you have 100 or 1,000 of MEP system. Without MEP assistant, you have to spend a lot of time to placing one by one fixture into the Precast element. But with MEP assistant, you can collect all information from IFC data and convert it to the native catalog, to the fixture of the PLANBAR in a few seconds or few minutes. So that means you can increasing your productivity per day. Let's say, for example, creating fixture in Precast wall element or Precast slab elements. But it's not just the fixure creation. In case of you have opening area, because of you have some element clash with your Precast wall. So we just use MEP assistant again. With this, you can select just IFC data. Let's say, for example, it's a plumbing. From this, I select all plumbing now. Sorry, this one should be. I change catalog to plumbing system. Load fabric. You can look at the list of the fixture now. MEP assistant assign opening parameter for this plumbing. And when you place run, you can see what happened. MEP assistant automatically generate opening for you according to conditions or rules that you have preset before. And when I come back to MEP assistant again, I can say, okay, I don't want to have opening because of some changes or because of some reason. You just select all, uncheck, and place run again. MEP assistant will restore back the data which you deactivate the opening area. So as I told you before, we have two possibilities. One is convert IFC data to the native catalogs, and the other one is creating opening area you can let's say you can have a highly performance by using MEP assistant with your projects and accurate than before, and you don't need to redo or make it again when you get the data or drawing from the MEP designer. You just load load IFC data using MEP assistant to map or the fixture or the MEP system to the PLANBAR catalogs. That's it. You don't need to do it or repeat your daily work again. Okay, so this is that all from my side for MEP assistant. Should I switch to my colleagues again
All
to
right.
the BIM booster?
Yep. Thank you, Mo, for the presentation. So now we will have Jason again to show you how another feature for PLANBAR, which is BIM Booster, and also how to create the reports from PLANBAR. All right, Jason, please.
Thanks, Max. So this is my next topic, BIM Booster. So just a little background of a BIM Booster. It was developed in 2015 due to some issues. Why? Because most of the elements are in place already, and each element or the entire model has different types, wherein of beams, columns, etc. So it means the file is really big on when you have these elements. And aside from that, if you also have this detail of reinforcements, then it will get bigger and bigger. And also, as thinking that you also have the shop drawing, then it makes your file heavy. So the program will have a problem on updating or reading the whole information inside. So that's why they have developed the BIM Booster. So BIM Booster will actually help you to improve your workflow and increase your efficiency on how you work, speed up of handling a large project. So like, for example, I have shown you yesterday, there's a project wherein you have a lot of blocks, say about 10 blocks, and then the stories is about until 20th story or 15. So it really helps, the BIM Booster really helps you how to manage the project. And because this also separate the basic precast model from the detail element. So instead of working in one file, it will give you another file wherein you will work on this file only. That is what called the detailed information. And you will not have to touch mostly in the model or the basic precast model. But if you can want to synchronize, then it's possible to do. As again, it will help you also to assign role-based access within your team. So if you have a bigger project, you can specify your team. Say one will do the column, one will do the beam. So it will help you to work together in one project. It enables interdisciplinary work on a common building model and helps to improve the workflow. So just to show you the icons under usage description. So first is the detailed drawing files. So it will used for creating the detailed information or detail element. Next is, of course, if you have a creation, you have also a function to delete it. So if you mistakenly put the wrong detail, then you can just delete the detail. Another thing is the transfer detail drawing file, wherein if you already have an existing element and you want to pass this information or this detail to the similar element, then you can use the transfer drawing file. Another thing is the assign detail drawing file, wherein if you have already the specific detail and you want to assign the model to this detail, then this function is really useful. You don't have to regenerate or model a new one. Next is the clear drawing file. So if you have assigned, you can also have the clear the detailed drawing file. It means just the link between the two files. It will be removed using this function. You also have the synchronize model and detail. This one is to synchronize all your information from your detail to your model only if it's really necessary. Again, it will make your file bigger, so that's why the beam booster is helping you to lessen it and make it more beneficial to use the detail elements. And another is the check plausibility. This is actually used for checking if you have already created the elements to be assigned or not, or again if the detailed drawing that you assigned is different from what it has. Okay, so just to show you for the live demo, so looks familiar, so in this case I have this layout. I will just turn on the framing plan, and basically there are some missing parts, so later on we'll be filling out. So basically you need to let's say for example you need to create a new model. So I'll just try to use the architectural beam and say for example I just make a beam here from here to here, and as you can see it's a different one, so I need to I just going to convert them to precast. So once you have converted them to precast, then later on you can have already you can generate the detail of this, because it's still a 3D element and it's acceptable to use the what you call the beam booster. So I'll just change my marking to 02. So the functionality will just be used maybe like, for example, the detail drawing. So let's say I have created this similar to this. So I can just copy. So I have these two beams. And instead of doing one by one, then you can generate the detail of these two. Say, for example, detail, select the element, and I will just specify where I'm going to put. So I'll just say I'll put it here. And then I go to the detailed element. So it generates the detail of the precast element. So let's say, for example, I want to change. So what's the benefit of creating this detail? So you will work and focus on this. So let's say, for example, I will just open my reference, and then maybe I just create some views to reflect, just to be seen. And if I move this one to this one to this, okay. And let's say, for example, I want to create this profile since it's really a straight, so I can just create a profile of it and just add. So I will just make some lines here. And just run from here to here. So as you can see, it automatically generates. I will just try to put some cutouts. Just to put some cutouts. And let's say, for example, from here to here with the length of this to here. So I can have this information. I can copy from here, from here to here. So let's say, for example, I have finished creating. So what is the benefit of this? So after creating this one, once you have the detail of this, you can synchronize the information that you have placed on this detail. So just to show you, you have the synchronized attribute, synchronized basic object, synchronized model, and etc. So at this point, we have modified the model, so we just activate the model. And let's see what's going to happen to the two elements that we have created. So if we go back to the model, as you can see, the two elements actually modified. So this is the benefit of using this beam booster when you have a detailed drawing. Okay, so just to show you another sample, I can create a mirror. Okay, just create a mirror of this later on. You just to show you. So maybe this one is a different one, and maybe I need to put have a detail. So maybe I just put some detail here. So I have this detail with complete information. Okay, so if I go back to my model, and this detail will have to be linked to the one that you already have. So you can just say assign detailed drawing of this to the drawing file or to the element that you have placed. So let's say this one. And if I go to my element, and let's say I synchronized all, even the reinforcement, or maybe even the fixture is already there. So let's try. And as you go back to the model, so as you can see, your model has the information, although it's inverted, but it's actually takes the information of this element. So if I show you one more time, I have another detail of this one. They'll just change it. Maybe 0.5, and then I will. So I can show you another function wherein you have to clear the assignment. Yes, and I will assign it to this one. Assign it back. Assign. Let me check this one. So let's clear it up so that it will be, you will see how it's easy to really define. So I don't have anything there. And if I use this beam, okay, 205, so I will just assign this. And one assign this back, and then you can see the transfer also can be possible. So if I say I transfer the information of the one that you have created to this element, so either this one or I have something here, I just select this element and I just place it this one, and I can create a new file. Already has a, oh, okay, it's already there. So maybe I just have to remove, again, clear detail. So you have this station if you on the links. So again, there's no more link, so you can transfer the information this to this one and say 205. I'll just put somewhere here. And as you can see, it's actually getting something. So you're transferring the information of the created existing elements to the new ones. So you don't have to draw or model another element which has almost the same information as what you have already drawn. So it lessens your time of creating a new element, and it will help you to really fill in all those informations, or you don't have to think of that maybe this element has detail of thing. If I go to my detail of this, so I just have to move. So just to reflect, and as you can see, it activates this information. So you have this detail. So maybe I'll just try to synchronize, and then you will see that it's actually helping you to focus only on this detail. So if I load back, so I have this information based on the detail. So this is based on because of the reference point. So it's actually, if you have correctly done all those reference points, then you don't have to worry of this. And even the shop drawing, you will also have the information. So just to show you. Okay, so this will be the reference shop drawing using the transfer element. So the benefit there is actually, as what I've said, you don't have to redo those information that has the same detail as what you did before. So Beam Booster is really useful for really large projects. So imagine that if you have different levels with a typical or similar panels, then it will give you the benefit of saving the time of creating all those similar, or you're going to be duplicating the information to other or other elements. Okay, so as you can see, it reflects also to these elements. Okay, so that is actually for the Beam Booster. I think so that ends my presentation for the Beam Booster. I pass back to Max. Oh, sorry, I forgot the report.
Yeah,
Regarding the
just
report,
one
yep.
minute.
Yes, Max.
Yes, please continue with the report.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So let's say I have this information and you need a report. So I can show you the report that we have. and I just have to, what happened? Report, and I say all. So in this case, you can have a report of this showing the information of your elements. So you can also have the shape of it. And if I click on the icon, it will highlight you which element is you are looking to. So let's say this one, so you're looking at this element. And the report is based and gives you all the information like the area, the volume, and weight, which is really important, especially for the for your contracts. So you have the option also to remove it if you want. And maybe you can have some remarks you can put in here. One story, and you can, it will applicable here. Okay, now for reinforcement, at this part it's not included, so maybe we can try to put some report for the reinforcement. So if I have a bending shape here, and I can say all, just run it out, and you will have the bar report here. So you have the shape and the information of individual length and weight. So that is the preview for your report. Either you select all, or you can just select few. Oh, sorry. Okay, select, and you will just have these two information. Okay, so that's how the reports looks like. And then I pass to Max.
Yep. Thank you, Jason, for the demonstration. All right. So my colleague has demonstrated how all these additional functionalities can be used to improve the quality of your data when you're using PLANBAR. And as we have mentioned earlier, that data is actually very important for the whole build process, because that is the foundation when you are going for additional steps, including VDC or using the data for facilities management, for example, right? So especially for precast, all this coordination using this data is very important, because for precast project, you need to have very close coordination. And once the item is casted in the factory, any rectification works will be very expensive. You have to demolish the precast part and create again, or you have to, chip away some, add in additional rebar, which is almost impossible unless you drill holes or something, right? So for this, we have this, for collaboration, we have the solution which we call Technical Information and Integration Manager. So this will be very helpful for companies, especially if you have multiple factories, for example, or even you have only one factory, but this will help you to coordinate the works between your designers, your drafters, with the production, and also for the installation. So for TIM is actually a model-based work preparation platform with very informative process visualization, which my colleague will demonstrate later again. Right. So for this, there is a cross-platform integration. We can interact with machine, master computer, manufacturing execution system, enterprise resource system, and also with your mobile phones. Right. So for BIM in precast, it is very important that we work with these other stakeholders. So for this production, we are working with all these major brands on the market, Everman, Alematic, RBSAA, for example. They are all very reputable machinery supplier or manufacturing execution system suppliers on the market. And for the data and reports, we are also collaborating with major ERP partners on the market, including SAP, ERP Boss, RBSA, for example. And we have proven to the market that we are able to provide the suitable data or good quality data for this machinery to execute the invoicing, the production, the material preparation, for example. Right. So, and all this, some of them are using IFC4 format, but some of them are using other proprietary formats. And by communicate with MES and also production, and we are the first company to actually make use of this for production. And it includes 3D information for the model, the geometries, and also we can produce the tracking materials for tracking. So I think this was in 2017, whereby we used the IFC data for production, first time in the world, first of such case in the world for actual machinery production. So later I'll be showing you the full video of the production. Right. So for now, let me just bring you through the functionalities of technical information and integration manager. So firstly, we have the collaboration manager, whereby we can use the different functionalities to collaborate with different stakeholders. You can send the information to your customer, to your structural engineers. You can export the information to your CSV Excel files. You can export to IFC files, and you can also even generate QR labels to track your precast elements. And later, I will also be demonstrating how we can use barcodes to track all these precast elements as well. Right. So we also have the operations manager, whereby you can plan for the production of your precast parts in different stages. Right. So you can see once the information is approved, it will be passed on to the next step. So it is stage-based of phase-based workflow methods. So if the information is not approved by your engineer, then it will not be passed on to your production team. So it will minimize all this erroneous production in the factory, which can be very costly. And all this can be customized depending on the workflow. And we also be sitting down with your company to discuss what is the optimum workflow for your factory. And next, we have the delivery manager, whereby you can create your stacking reports. You can create your delivery order. You can virtually place your precast element on your trailer, different kinds of trailer actually, and you can stack it accordingly, and the CG will be calculated based on the weight and the orientation of the precast panel. And you will also maximize the capacity of all this arrangement. Next, we also have the quality manager, which is a rule-based quality checkers. Right. So if there's any fixtures missing, if there's any rebars missing, or there's any collision, for example, this system will track or will detect these errors when before you send it to production. So we also have one audience asking about the safety issues regarding precast. She mentioned that because precast accidents usually happen on the construction site due to installation errors, or for example, and all this can actually be mitigated if you produce this carefully, you install the lifting hooks carefully in the right position, and you can minimize all these dangers which you pose to the installation personnel on the construction floor. right? And lastly, we also have the management dashboard, which is a integration with the Microsoft Power BI, because TIM is actually a database with all the information you can want from a precast model. And for BIM to actually work, you need to identify what kind of information that you want, right? So maybe for your accounting department, they will want the volume of the concrete, the weight of the rebar, the cost of the formwork, etc. They will not be interested in, let's say how long you take to produce the precast element, or what kind of materials that you use, because what they are interested in is only the cost. And for your production team, they will want to know what is the type of the rebars, what is the concrete grade, what is the volume that you are going to use, so that they can plan for it accordingly. So for this management dashboard, it is very useful for middle or higher management who do not have time to look at all this information on a daily basis or in details. So they want a very graphical ways to show you how is the project going on. Is there any delays on the construction site? Is there any delay on the production floor? And you can manage your whole project based on this bar charts, for example. And lastly, I'll also be showing you the mobile team in a later part, whereby we can use the mobile team to incorporate the delivery or even the installation of these precast elements on your construction site. Right, so this solution can be applied for your different departments, for your production, stock management, assembly, project management, or even your top executive management. And this will improve the control for your quality, your workflow, and also information. So before I pass the presentation to my colleague for a live demonstration, let me just show you this RFC for precast. The first projection of using RFC for precast data for production. So it is done by one of our customer, FDU. Right, so you can see that I think they're placing the formwork. It's fully automated. And FDU is one of our largest customer in Germany region. They have over 27 factories across Europe, and they're using our management to manage all this vast network of factories. And now you can see that they are placing the rebars. And the difference with IFC is that it is an open-based data whereby multiple platforms can access the same information. But we also can accommodate different data source, for example, Unitemic, PSML, for example, for this kind of production. And I would think this is a And all this IFC data can also include fixtures, meshes, and rebars. Right. So let me just. So my colleague will show you the actual demonstration for the technical information and integration manager. Right. So remember to unmute yourself.
Thanks, Max. Hello everyone again. So for my part, I will show you how TIM can work. Before we go to the TIM, I want to explain you about the data coming from PLANBAR. So after you have done the 3D modeling and even shop drawing, you just export the data to TIM. Okay. From TIM, you can work in the import manager, import the data which came from PLANBAR, and this is a user interface of the TIM when you want to import the data from PLANBAR. With this, for the work populations, you need to know some more information regarding to the size of your precast elements, volume of the concrete, area, and so on and so on. You can check all information in the data explorer, because in the data explorer show you all information that you want to know for the work preparation. Here is a height, here the weight, volume, and area. And of course, you can customize information showing on the data explorer, because we have more than 30 columns that are available for use. For example, if you want to know reinforcement, you just click on reinforcement type and place run. After that, all the data will show it. But I will not show you right now at the moment, because it takes a bit time to show all the information from the 3D modeling showing on the model window. But the other thing that you can use TIM to manage it is shop drawing. With the shop drawing, if you want to let's say check something on the layout, you can look in the properties window and click on three-point buttons. And then in the three-point button, we show you the shop drawing, which is coming from PLANBAR. Okay. So the next one is after you import 3D model from PLANBAR, that means production guys who are responsible for the production in the factory, ready to, let's say, manage the data or using 3D modeling to do some work preparation. For example, if I want to approve the drawing or approve 3D modeling before the production starting, so I can go to collaboration manager. With the collaboration manager, we should work on the story by story. We should not open for whole model. With this, you can look at the status window. In the status window is a work process that you have, let's say, define or make a configuration for that, or you want to check some, let's say, some status of each precast element. For the new for the news mean you import new model or you import new project to TIM. To approve the 3D model or approve drawing, you just select Precast elements. With that, you can click on approve. And when you click on approve, Data Explorer automatically update the data for you. And after that, in the status, you can see all the precast elements already changed from new to approved. And when you expand three menu, you can see number of precast element already approved. With this, if you don't want to approve because of some reasons or something happened during the design process, you can select again and say cancel approve. And all fourth or fifth, those elements come back to the new again. Okay, it depends on you. You can have 2-3 steps to approve your drawing. Let's say, for example, you can approve from the designer, approve from owner, approve from the or approve for the production. You can customize any status that you want to have in your work process. So after we approve, we continue with Operation Manager. What we are doing in Operation Manager? In Operation Manager, we have to plan assembly or election date. We have to plan production schedule, and even we have to plan delivery date and contract date, whatever it is. But in my presentation, I will show you just two steps. The first one is an assembly phase. With assembly phase, now I prepared the 3 phases. The first one starting from 19 June, and then 20 and 21st of June. With our 3 different phases, I have 3 different colors as well, because I would like to show what happens when we assign assembly phase or election date. With this, I just select sequence of election. When I select sequence of election, let's say again, should be by using cursor. I just assign phase 1 for this element. Maybe something happened. I can create new phase actually, don't worry. For the phase 2, phase 5, and phase 6, I just change the color. Wait a minute. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, and again select element. Okay, and assign phase 4. Should be this one. Okay, this is phase 4. Okay, and then I have to assign phase 5. I don't know what happened. Okay, maybe. Okay, this is phase 5, and the next one is phase 6. Okay. Right now, at the moment, we have 3 different phases for sorry, let's say number 6. And after that, I go to production phase, because for the production phase, I have to plan the production date for sorry, number 6. From here, I just let's say select on and assign production phase number 1. Select day number 23 for election date to phase number 2, and assign election date on 24th to production phase number 3. So now you can see when we assign production phase. The color will changes and even the status will also changes as well. From here, from operation manager, we have to go to delivery manager, because after you plan the date of production, you need to make a stack elements, because you have to think when how to deliver your element to the construction site. From here, I have to select container. From the container, in TIM is an open platform that you can customize any size of the container. In case of you have your let's say your own container size, we are open system for you to customize any container size that you want to have. So from here, now you can see I filter in the date. I have filter to filter production date, because I want to know when I have to make the production for level number 6, and I just select one of elements from here, and then element will move from data explorer to the container. And you can check, or you can see in the overview drawing, you can check how many weight that you are using now for compare with the maximum weight at the moment. The maximum weight for this container is 17 ton. And if I want to put one more, I just click on the data explorer. And of course, I can click on the 3D model as well, but this element already assign some status already. So I just click on this element, even this element, and this element. And in the floor plan, I can see this is a CG of your container. If you want to manage CG, you want to let's say balance your CG for your truck, you have to take care about position of your element on your container. So I can, let's say, move a bit or relocation my precast element on the container. When I have done it, I can select on the container or stack number, create report of stack list for the guy who is responsible for production, because they want to know number of the precast element that you have to stack for stack number 1 or stack number 10, whatever. So few minutes, my system is generating a report. Okay, this is a report from stack element. And now you can see in the report, you can have some information regarding to the size of your precast element, dimensions, thickness, concrete, and of course weight of each element. And you also have stack number, and you can put in the customer name, your company name, where is your project, and invoicing address, delivery address, and so on and so on. You can customize your own report. So if you want to have 2-3 more, you just click on the container, and now the system will generate new container. But you can easily have the let's say stack element on the container by clicking on the group of your production date, something like this. Of course, if it's over or something happened or something overweight or whatever it is, the system will show you the notice window. If you say, okay, ignore collision, that means your elements cannot, let's say, it's over limit of the container, and the system, the team will show you a red color in the name of the container because of something happened with your container. So you have to fix all the issue that you have got it from the, let's say, from the stack. Okay, from here, let's say I have done the stack elements, I have to go to the next one, is a production manager. After you have done after you have done the stack or delivery planning, whatever it is, then you have to think about when you want to then you have to think about the pallet occupancy, because you have the limit of your table per day, right? Let's say, for example, right now, the moment my factory number 1 have table per day can be produced precast elements. So we want to use TIM to manage or optimize our pallet area. So to work on it, you have to select date. For example, I have to select on 20 of June on the table number 1. This is the size of the table. You can customize size of the table. In case of you have long bed, of course, we also have possibility for you to make long bed for your production or for your factory. So at the moment on my system, I have 4 by 12 meter length of my table number 1. From here, I have to look at the stack. This is stack. That means element already stacked. If element already stacked, that means element already to produce. I just click on elements. When I click on element will be placed on the table. And what happened with this? You can see you have some information about the total weight now for table number 1. You have remaining length for, let's say, for your production or for your table number 1. And I can continue to make a element allocate. I just click on elements, and you, of course, you can reposition or relocation of your elements. Whatever you do, the system will, let's say, give. Sometimes the system will give you, let's say, or given you the notice because of something happened with the limitation. And now you can see because of we have limitation of the table, and this table can make a use for 3 elements. I can go to the next table. From the next table, I guess I just click on it, and element already placed, and click on it, element already placed. It doesn't matter right now at the moment. You just click on it. So that means you have to, let's say, optimize your palette already, and you can make the reports as well for the production teams or production guy who have to, let's say, you have to manage your palette plan. And of course, in the report, show you about the concrete volume, concrete grade, and even the positions of your precast element. And if you deal with the, let's say, robot machine, you can click on production data. From the production data, you can select which kind or which type of the production data you deal with it. Let's say, for example, JUNI technique or PXML. From here, you just export the data, and the data we pass through the machines. The machine can read in the data and show in the master computer look like this. This one is your example data which generated from TIM. So master computer can realize or correct this data, and of course from the master computer they can see all the items inside that TIM generated for. Let's say for example steel plate, socket items, how many wire mesh, how many bar, and so on and so on. Or even if you deal with IFC data, we also create the production data as well as the IFC. With IFC, you can use the other software to lead in the data, which is a unitechnic format. And even IFC for precast, we also have possibility and to make the data for IFC for precast. And when I come back to PLANBAR to TIM, with the TIM, it's not just the work preparation. If you want to make some, let's say, some information, or you want to deal with the ERP system, you can select elements, create CSV, or send all the data to ERP system. You just click on the button, and then this is some information that we pass to ERP system, or we pass to some software who can lead in this format. But of course, you can customize your data structure for ERP system, for the software who can lead in the data. Okay. So, and after you have done all this work preparation, but it's not the last TIM can do. TIM can deal with the mobile device, and we also have the solution on that. We say that is a MTIM. My colleagues Max will show you how MTIM can work, or can monitoring, and can make an election, or can he will show you how MTIM can work. Thank you. Next.
All right, thank you so much, Mo, for your presentation. So now I'm currently showing you my Android tablet. It's a Galaxy A8 Galaxy Tab. So this model is actually from TIM, and I apologize for this watermark. Yeah, so please bear with it. So this information you can see is directly from TIM, which my colleague has just demonstrated. And on this model, you can maneuver it very easily according, just like a normal phone. You can just zoom in, you can zoom out, you can rotate. Right, so on the left side is the information panel. You can see this project here. Right, so you just tap on it. Sorry, what? Then you can see this building here, right? So for this project, you can just go in, and you can go to multiple different stories. For example, now I'm more interested in story, let's say 10. Right, so it will highlight only this level 10 for me, or I can select this yellow element, right? So on the left side, you can see that there's a document attached to it. Then you can just click on the document, and you can see this shop drawing actually, right? So for maybe for your production, they can have a very clear view on what is the dimensions that they want to produce. And all these details can actually be retrieved very easily, including all the details, the section details, and even the mesh detail as well. Right. So for mobile team, there's actually a lot of functionalities whereby you can make use of. For example, we also support the QR code or barcode functions. So let me just try to scan a barcode which we have prepared earlier. Right. So when I scan a barcode, it will directly brings me to this precast element. Right. So when I scan a barcode, it brings me to this DNC10-039. And on this test precast element, I can actually attach a picture. For example, if there's any chipping or cracks on this precast element, I can take a photo of this precast element. Let me just try it. So I will take a photo and I will put in my comment. I'll click OK, and I'll put a comment say broken. And this information will be actually uploaded to our team platform, so Siren can see it in almost real time. Then he can start with the rectification works, for example. And for, let's say, the installation team, they can use this control panel here to let's say install this precast element on site. And once it's installed, you can just select this install, and the color will change. So everyone will know that this element is actually installed, and you can select your installation time to track your work efficiency, for example, and you can choose like who actually completed the installation. And all this information will be tracked by team, and the information will be passed back to the team database. And there is a very clear audit trail to track all these movements. So everyone handling this information can be responsible for it. And this function can also be used for, let's say, your delivery personnel. They can just scan the stack or scan the precast element and to confirm that they have received it. So instead of sending a reorder, you can just scan the barcode and you can and the system will automatically update it to be delivered, for example. And when you're installing, it can be done as well. So all these functionalities can be configured on the backend on the team platform.
So just maybe, sorry, maybe jump in on this stage. Exactly, the content Max mentioned is very important because the content will be very individual for any proposals. That means the installation, the time of the installation, the complexity of the installation sometimes is much higher, and this is the point that we can also trace that. In putting it inside, how long does it take time for the installation, how efforts has been done for this, and this is actually affected back the cost back to the ERP system.
Yeah, so all this information is actually part of the data creation for BIM, for example. So your accounting team can track what is the cost to install this, what is the complexity, and there's a very clear audit trail to show the whole demonstration process. All right, so and these functionalities can be customized to fit your individual organization's requirements. So we have customers using it for production, for example. They are transferring the shop drawings to the factory floors. They use it for installation, for example, to track all these individual elements, right? So overall, for this whole 2 days of webinar, what we are actually advocating for is a BIM workflow, so that we can minimize the data loss over different stages of the project. And PUPR and BPTK has been pushing for this as well, and we are very glad to see that. And I think we are making good progress. And the result we can see is that we can see faster productivity, up to 50% faster, and you can maximize your production capacity with very good design, especially for precast, right? And also we see improvement in quality, up to 70% reduction in error rates, and you can design it to be of good quality to be produced in a factory environment. And for control-wise, the management dashboard is a very good tool for the management to have a good overview of the project. And delay is one of the biggest concern in the construction market. So when delay happens, cost is increased, customer satisfaction is increased, right? So the customer will not be very happy with this delay as well. So with this management dashboard and also this information readily available for all the stakeholders, and with effective communications, we can exercise more control on the project itself. All right, so I think we are at the last part of our presentation. So I think we have a couple of time for Q&A. So let me just, okay, before that, we actually have a lot of questions coming in, and we apologize for, missing out some of these questions, and we will definitely try to answer it after the webinar because we have too many questions. So one of the questions that the audience asks is that creating and opening in MEP system to be circular. So I will just pass the presentation to my colleague who will demonstrate how to create a circular opening in MEP system. All right, Siren, please. Yeah, remember to unmute yourself.
Thanks, Max. Okay. For the question about opening in MEP assistant can be circular. So look at this wall. And we have one piping crash with precast wall. To create it, it's the same procedure actually with the rectangle. Select objects that you want to make a circular. Define in opening parameter. In my library, in my catalog, I select, let's say, rectangle, right, in the last term. But in this time, I want to make the circular based on center or circular based on outline of the geometry. So I choose the circle based on center. And then I have to define radius. Let's say 35 by 2. It's about 17.5 mm. And when I place run, now you can see what happened. We have circular, but it's not nice because of the wall is quite lower or close to the pumping. But it's not a big issue. We want to show you how to create circular on the precast wall. Okay, and the second question is when we talk about Python path, we use Python path to, let's say, to speed up our modeling, right? With this. With this Python path. You don't need to, let's say, to make it again when you want to create shop drawing or when you want to make a precast elements, because our plan is have a feature can automatically make a Python path at the precast wall. You just click on Python path, and then Python path became to precast element in a few clicks. From this, you can get automatically shop drawing, or we say that is an element plan. And of course, it's a parametric actually. If you make some, let's say, changes on your Python path, the system will automatically update your shop drawing. And when you have to do something in, let's say, in your shop drawing, Let's say if I make some merging here. Sorry, not this one. If I, let's say, create one more element, sorry, not the Python part, because Python part you need to have, you make the parametrics. But if I make a simple wall, create precast wall, create shop drawing. The benefit from MMPlan is you can have direct link between 3D model and the 2D drawing. This is a unique feature that you haven't seen in other 3D modeling software. Let's say, for example, if I make some cutout in shop drawing, you don't need to do it again in the 3D modeling because our system is synchronized with the 3D modeling. And of course, if you, let's say, delete something, for example, opening from 3D model, it will be in fact with a 2D drawing as well. So that means we have direct link between 2D and 3D, and this is a unique feature that you haven't seen in the other 3D software. Okay,